Good morning. It's 1:51. It kind of feels like I got hit by a truck. Oh my god, I'm so sore. I was anticipating going down for the entire night, but I think maybe I also might be getting sick again. I've got like a little bit of sore throat, a little bit of mucus, like a little bit of congestion. So that's not great, but at the same time, the moment that I woke up, you know how like sometimes you'll wake up from a dead sleep and there will already be a song in your head? Like as soon as your brain turns on, rather as soon as it switches gears, there's already a song in your head. Like sometimes mid-sentence or mid-lyric. And this time, what was in my head from the moment that my brain switched gears was that food entering the digestive system enters into the duodenum of the small intestine. And the second sentence that my brain thought, like before it even stopped doing anything, before it flowed at all, it went right into blood returning from the body, goes through the vena cava veins into the right atrium of the heart. And if you remember, those are two questions that I got wrong on my test last week. Because anatomy is still my weakest subject. It's almost like, because when you wake up with a song in your head, it's a message from Spirit. It almost feels like Spirit is helping me study, recalling information while I'm sleeping, maybe. Because those are two questions I got wrong, and they're two questions that I reviewed, and maybe my body and my mind and spirit are like, okay, he's doing these tests tomorrow, gotta review subconsciously. We are being guided to meet this with gratitude. Because we already know, whenever your body's going through something, there's a reason for it. Sometimes when you get sick or you get food poisoning or, you get taken out of commission in some way or another, that's Spirit's way of saying, like, plant it. Maybe by keeping you home, you're avoiding some kind of catastrophe, or you will be there because somebody at home needs you. Or there might be some circumstance or another where they didn't want you to do anything other than buckle down. Maybe the reason why I wasn't supposed to cover that shift for that girl tomorrow was because Spirit wants me to stay home and study. Which is valid. We already talked about the fact that they want me to do this quickly. They want me to get in gear and make this happen. Because there's some kind of opportunity coming in the near future. So whatever this is for you, the Spirit is subconsciously trying to help you wire your brain for a specific task that's going to be important for your journey here. Pay attention to those stray thoughts, those things that just pop up from seemingly nowhere are important because Spirit is reinforcing the information that you don't know you need yet. So when you have thoughts about your friend from middle school pop up randomly, remember them because it might not be random. When you have a random song you haven't thought about in 5 years pop into your head, the moment you wake up, maybe give it a listen while you're getting ready for work. There might be a message in there for you. And know that you are going to wind up exactly where you're meant to be in divine timing. And if that means Spirit wants your ass at home, stay the fuck home. If that's Spirit's way of saying, focus up, buddy, get it done, gotta listen to that. They seem to be supporting a balanced life and a balanced workload. They wanted us to have fun, and now they want us to focus up. And that is what the natural flow has been. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but spirit communication happens in a multitude of forms. And this is for somebody that wants clairaudience, or wants to hear things clairaudiently, because they feel like that's the clear communication that they would understand. But you don't understand that your interpretation is necessary for clairaudience too. Your ability to discern and understand the patterns and the spirit communication that comes in other ways is why you're probably not hearing things. You need to be looking at these patterns, at these subtleties that the spirit, the universe, source, God, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit guides, your guardians, the universe, they are giving you methods of communication. And if you are not trying to see that, then you're not looking. They're always talking. They're in the music. They're in the commercials. They're in the random words on pieces of paper that your mind is drawn to first. They're those spontaneous little intrusive thoughts sometimes. They are these moments where the perfect amount of information, or the right information that you've been struggling to absorb, is recalled instantaneously and memorably. Those moments of knowing are subtle. And I think some of the most important times to listen are when Spirit isn't shouting. It's when they're whispering. And you just have to be able to pick it up. And one of the best ways for Spirit to communicate with you is with those little nudges. And for me personally, one of the ways that they see if I will act on those nudges is like the other night. I was walking around the gym. I was doing my walkthrough. And I just got this like intuitive nudge to check every bathroom stall. I always walk by. I always look underneath to see if there's feet under the doors. And for whatever reason, they wanted me to go look up or open up every single individual stall. And nothing happened. Nothing was in there. But that was one of those moments where I thought to myself, I'm not going to do that. And then I like made it 3 steps out and then turned back around, and I was like, okay, fine. Because if you don't listen to that intuitive nudge, if you don't listen to that moment of internal guidance, that is how you miss things. And it doesn't always mean that there's a thing. Sometimes they just want to see if you'll do it. Sometimes it's because they introduce that thought ahead of time. And it might not be important during that walkthrough, but if I'm thinking about the fact that I wasn't thoroughly checking every stall, and then 2 weeks from now, something happens, and one of those stalls becomes important for a different reason, and I started checking them because I realized I was neglecting them. Do you understand what I'm saying? If my future actions changed based on that nudge, and the fact that it was brought to my attention, and that impacts my thoroughness, then that intuitive nudge was the reason I found something later. It can seem convoluted, I guess, but it makes sense to me.